What's up, everyone? This is Bill with BLR Tuning. Today's watch is another Invicta collector's watch. This is called the Hydromax. You see, it is hydro dipped with $100 bills. Really cool watch. Huge watch. Anyway, today I got a little video for you guys. This is for the Kawasaki ZH2. So they will be working on our 2023 Kawasaki ZH2 Athena. This is the ZH2 SE model. And what we're going to be installing is TST Industries integrated rear tail light and TST Industries blinkers for up in the front. These are LED. So we will also be installing a Gen 2 2-pin LED flasher relay, also TST Industries. All this stuff will be available on our website. There'll be a link in the description below. As many of you know, we are now a distributor and dealer for TST Industries. So we will be carrying their parts from here out, and you'll see them over on our website in the description below. And you can check out the ZH2 section of our website. You'll find all kinds of stuff there for tuning these bikes and parts and accessories and whatnot. All that will be in the description below this video. We're going to tackle the front end of the bike first. I'm going to show you guys where the relay is to swap out. You'll need to do that, or else you'll get what's called like hyper flash, where either the lights will flash really fast or won't work. So we're going to do that first. And then we'll hop over to the tail section. And then eventually we'll be installing also one of our tail delete kits with a license plate mount, or you can get it without the license plate mount. So we'll cover that in another video. This is just going to show you the tail light blinkers. I got everything out of the box here. And then we will also be carrying this like as a whole kit. So that's basically what we're showing you here is the whole kit installed, but you'll be able to buy everything individually as well. So these do come, this is the Mech Gtr blinkers. You see how they look there, super bright, really cool blinkers. They do offer, TST Industries offers different colors and stuff of running light, and you have to run a wire for power and whatnot to the running light. This is going to be more of the simple install. We're not going to be using the running light portion of it. And then you do have these little O-rings. So once you feed this through, you can put the O-ring on and then slide this up there. Helps keep everything in place. Okay, and then these do come with the wiring harness for them. So pretty straightforward stuff here. We'll show you all that. We'll cover all that. And then obviously your 2-pin Gen 2 flasher relay, so we don't end up with that hyper flash. And then you have your smoked tail light, which will actually be sitting in there more like this. And this is programmable. It does have a button down here. You can program how the brakes flash and when you step on them, or if they're solid. You can program how the blinkers operate. All kinds of stuff that you can do on these types of tail lights. TST Industries makes some really cool stuff. Okay, we've used them on quite a few different bikes. So real quick, I'll go over the wiring on the blinkers and get this set up. And we'll come tackle the bike, get the old blinkers off. I'll show you where the relay goes. We'll tackle the front end first, then we'll hop over to the rear. Wiring portion of it for the blinkers. On the blinkers, you'll notice you have a blue wire coming off the blinker itself and this little plug. These are not going to be used unless you are running those daytime running lights. That is a piece that is separate. Okay, you can get that from TST Industries. We are going to be using the red and brown wire off of here. And the brown wire on your little harness, the brown wire on your blinker is going to plug into the yellow wire on your harness, okay? So you have a yellow wire on your harness. Those two get plugged into each other like so. And then you have a red wire on the blinker and a black wire on the harness. Those two get plugged into each other like so. Okay, run these little boots over them, cover them up, run some electric tape around them and tape them so they don't come loose or move around on you. Cap off this blue wire, we'll tape it up. Same with this plug, we're not going to use it. So we can tape that up as well. Okay, and that will be how our blinker is installed onto the bike. You'll do that with both of them. Okay, so yellow to brown, black to red. Got it? Let's hop out here to the bike. Okay guys, so here we are with the 2023 Kawasaki ZH2 SE. This is Athena. It's our shop bike. It is already, for the most part, torn down. We got the tank back on it, but there's a link in the description below to go to our teardown video. We have a teardown video for this, showing you how to get everything off of it and get the tank off if you need to. For this, we just need to remove these front plastics. So you're gonna have to take some pieces off of it, but you'll see the blinkers are gonna be down inside here, and they have a Phillips head screw on the back of them that you need to get that Phillips head screw out to get them removed. And I'll show you kind of how to do that. But then the relay is going to be up in this area. So we're going to remove the windscreen, and we're going to remove this piece here. And to do so, you can see should be able to come off pretty easy. But then the blinker plug, so I'll show you on this left side. The right side is a little more elaborate, but the blinker plug is where that red connector is right there. I'm zoomed in on it. Okay, that is that straight down. So that is the blinker plug. And then the blinker itself, obviously right here, if you can get a small screwdriver in there with a Phillips head, you can get this blinker out no problem. You just got to pop the little metal piece off the back. Okay, and that's what kind of locks it in so it can't just pull out of here. But let's get to the relay up inside here, and I'll show you where that goes. And then we'll start working from the front and work our way to the back. Remember, a link in the description below to show you how to tear down the bike completely. Okay. Okay guys, so we went ahead and took this whole shroud off the front headlight assembly. So the windscreen is held on by these 4mm Allen head bolts. They're black. And then you have 7 bolts total holding this guy on. Okay, and there is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6, 7 total black 4mm Allen head bolts. And then you're going to have on the bottom these 2 shorter stainless steel bolts with a little collar on them. Those are going to be the ones that sit here and here. And then you're going to remove 1 bolt out of the intake. So you'll need to take that intake cover with the vent off, and this upper bolt here has to come out. That is a 5mm. Okay, so make sure you remember where all your bolts go. Keep everything labeled. But now, as you can see, this whole entire housing will prop forward, and then it can unclip from there. It's just kind of sitting up there right now. Okay, so where we need to get to is inside of here. Okay, let me get some light and show you what all this looks like and where your relay goes. Okay guys, now if you remove this panel, it's held up by the blinker, and then you can see that Phillips head screw I was talking about right there, and then it plugs in right there. So that's a pretty simple way to install your new blinkers and plug them in. And then you do have access to that screw on that side from underneath here, and you can get to the plug-in on it from the top. So pretty straightforward stuff there. The flasher relay is in the craziest spot. So when you look underneath the bike, so right now I'm laying on the right side of the bike, my head is up towards the front wheel. We are looking at the headlight right here. Okay, that's the headlight from underneath. And then the flasher relay that you're going to have to replace is right there. So you'll see, yep, put your finger in there. That's it, right? Hold your finger on it. Stop moving your finger. Yep, hold your finger on it. That is it right there. Let me shine a flashlight in there. So you see that where her fingernail is? That plug, you can see this cable's in the way there, but that plug is what needs to come out, okay? So from the side of the bike, you'll see, right side of the bike, you'll see these 2 bolt heads on the front of the frame. and that holds the whole housing for like the headlight and all that assembly. That is your flasher relay. Okay. So that's where our replacement flasher relay goes on the 23 ZH2 SE. And from what I'm reading in the forums, older ZH2s would have it in this location as well. So we need to unplug that guy, remove him from up there, plug in the gray one, and then somehow put it back in there or tuck it in and zip tie it somewhere where it's out of the way. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. Okay, guys, so now I'm sitting on the left side of the bike. We got our piece unplugged. It is sitting down inside this black housing here, okay? What we're going to do, so it clears the steering and everything, instead of fiddling around trying to get this back up inside there, which would be a big chore, we're going to use the little clip that's on here and throw a zip tie around it and zip tie it to this main harness coming up to the front end. So if we just want it kind of sitting at a downward angle, because if water gets in it, we want it to be able to drip out of there. We don't want it to sit in there. Okay, that's the hardest part about this whole thing. And your wiring for it is real short. So there's not a lot of places to put it. But if you zip tie it and get it on top of here, like this orientation right there, okay, that will get it so it clears the fork tubes when you steer all the way locked left and right. If it sits right there, that would be a perfect spot for it to sit. Okay, and then remember, you can take the gray piece off, and the flashers are, it is adjustable flash rate. Okay, it comes from the factory, I think it's 85 cycles, which is what it should be, but you can adjust it if you wanted to. Okay, there's a little dial in there you can turn. So anyway, that's where we're going to mount it. Then we'll continue with our install. We got to get this blinker off. You can see it plugged in right here. So we unplug that. We'll get this blinker out of here. We get that one out of there. We'll put our new blinkers in, plug them in. Then we can turn the key and test everything. And then we'll move over to the back end, okay? Now we will unscrew the Phillips head screw on the back of that right there. Pull off that little locking retainer, and then we will wiggle this out. We'll put our new ones in. Then we're going to put the rubber O-ring on, and then the little locking ratchet piece with the fingers towards. These little fingers is what I'm talking about. So you slide this over your wire. These little fingers go towards what you are ratcheting up against. Okay? And then to get this guy off, you see these little clips. You would pull back on each of these right here, and that would unratchet the piece. Okay, so it goes, blinker goes through, on the back you go O-ring, ratchet lock. It does come with extra ones if they ever break or anything like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to plug in each side. We're going to zip tie our wires up out of the way, any excess wire. And then we can throw the key in there and test them. Okay. And remember the relay, if you're adding just front blinkers and leaving the factory setup in the back, the relay will work with that. What won't work is leaving the stock relay on there and then trying to run blinkers. You have to replace the relay. If you're going to do just the tail light and leave the stock blinkers for the front and rear, you still have to do the relay. This has LED blinkers inside of it. Okay. So if you were going to leave the stock factory blinkers for the front, but you're doing the tail light, you still have to run the relay. Okay. So let's knock this out and get these blinkers on. Okay guys, you can see here, this is that right-hand side. So we have our blinker, so it's in there facing forward. And then we go the rubber O-ring, and then our ratchet slides over the plug like this with the fingers towards your plastics, okay, towards the blinker. And then now that is going to go down there tight, and it is a tight fit. Shove it down there until you can't shove it down no more, sealing that O-ring up against everything, squishing it, and making a solid connection. Okay, then we'll plug this in. We are using dielectric grease on the plugs, and then we will zip tie everything out of the way, button our front end back up, and we'll hop over to the rear. The blinkers installed there, you can see. Key is on. see how that looks. Okay, everything working the way it's supposed to. There's the flashers. Now we hop to the rear. Okay guys, we now move on to the back end. There's a piece that sits up here. You're going to remove four 4mm Allen head bolts. And then down low, there will be two 5mm Allen head bolts. And then you'll need to this tail section, you'll see some 5mm bolts. There's 4 of them. You'll need to remove those, then hold on to the tail section, remove this Phillips head screw, and that will drop it out. So when you put it, if you were putting it all back together with that tail section, that Phillips head screw will help you hold it in and locate everything. So you hold it up, put the Phillips head in, then you get your 4 bolts in, okay? You can stuff a rag down inside this hole, so that way if you drop anything, it doesn't fall way down in there. Don't worry about the mess of wires and whatnot. That is for another install that we're doing. So your bike won't look like that. It'll be all cleaned up. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Remove these bolts here and that Phillips head. And then our housing up here is going to come out. Those 2 Phillips screws right there are what holds the light in. And then you got these bolts down here, right here and here. And then all of your wiring is off to the right side in the back in this rubber boot. Okay, so let's get it all apart. Get out. You'll have to pop this down just a little bit, and you'll see it sits on a plastic tab. Plastic tab's kind of tricky to get back on. You just have to pull back and pry up, and it'll come back on here. But to get the light out, you need to remove these. These are actually 8mm bolts down here. You'll need to remove both of them and pull the wire out. You see there. And then this will come out of that rubber little thing. And there you go. Tail light is out. We will be reusing this bracket right here on our TST Industries setup. So just remember that, okay? And then we'll reusing the rubber grommets as well with those shoulders in there. Okay. So let's go wire it. Put all of our hardware on the new light, and we'll get it back in here. Okay, so here you can see our TST Industries light over here. So, like I said, these rubber grommets, you can pull the shoulder out from the bottom, put the rubber grommet in. You can use some like dielectric grease, something like that, to lube it up. We are going to put dielectric grease on all of our plugs. And then you'll need to remove this 2 Phillips head screws and put that back in there. So this guy will slide back in. And then all of your wires will plug right back in just how you unplugged them. Okay. And we'll go over that stuff as well. So we have our tail section off. We got our new TST Industries tail light in there. We still have to put that little clip back up so this whole thing comes up. But you're going to run your wiring down this side. And then this big wire, this is your tail light, brake light, that stuff. These little guys are your blinkers. And then these are, because this is a universal light, you won't be using these. Okay, these 2 right here. And then this light still hanging here would be for your license plate light. So if you're going to run a different license plate light, whatnot, or if you're going to put the stock factory tail section back on without the blinkers, then you would use that. If you're running one of our license plate delete kits or license plate mounting brackets, we leave it up to you to decide what kind of system you're going to go with for your license plate light if you run one at all. Okay, on the blinkers, you have a gray plug and a black plug coming off of the assembly here, off the wire harness. Green wire goes to the gray, black or brown wire there. That brown wire is what goes to the black. Okay. Okay, and on here on the harness, just so you understand it, the gray is the right blinker. So that green wire, that's your right blinker. And then remember, your tail light is programmable. There's a little button right here. You can hold it in and hold the brake down. There's all kinds of different functions to program it. Okay. You can program the blinker flashing, all kinds of stuff. So we'll get everything buttoned up, and then we'll come back here and take a look at it all and see how it all looks. Okay guys, we got the bike all back together. So that will conclude our install for the TST Industries integrated LED rear tail light, the integrated GTR Mech blinkers, and of course our little hidden 2-pin flasher relay. Okay, so I'll let you see them, how everything works. Turn that on. There's your right blinker. You can see it's programmable, so the button inside, as long as you have the blinker on and you push the button and let go, you'll change to a different blinker function. Okay, and you'll cycle through them. Now if you turn the blinkers off, then you come back here and you push the button to change the brake. You see how we have it. So you'll be able to change the brake light and how that functions. Okay, so really awesome little setup the way they did this. Like I said, you'll have a whole package available on our website. There'll be a link in the description to our ZH2 section where you can see all that stuff. And I'll put a link in the description to our TST Industries section. Anyways, I'm Bill with BLR Tuning. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Go check us out, BLRTUNING.TECH.